In this tutorial, we will walk you through how to use the comparison module for posture exams, lean screens, and movement exams, as well as the trend analysis for posture and lean screens as well. The first thing that you have to make sure that you have enabled is the comparison module. If your device, your PostureScreen or LeanScreen or whichever app you have downloaded is set to pay-as-you-go and you're using credits, you have to have that module purchased one time. It's a one-time purchase. Conversely, if you're enrolled in the subscription, the unlimited subscription assessment module, it's included. So the way you know is quite simple. You click here, you go down to upgrades, and this will tell you everything that you have enabled on that account. Okay, and under that Apple ID. So if you, for instance, had this on another device under the same Apple account and it's not showing up, all you would have to do is come down all the way down to the bottom and click this Restore Purchases button right here. Okay, you can see on mine everything is enabled, but if you were using credits and not a subscription, you would have to have this module right here would need to be enabled and purchased, and you just have to purchase that one time. Okay, so with that said, the next caveat is you need to make sure that your client or patient that you're going to do the evaluation on has multiple exams underneath their account. So oftentimes staff doesn't pay attention and they create duplicate accounts for the same person. So in this case, if they had two posture exams, they created Kelly Smith twice instead of staying in her account. So those that are practitioners in billing would understand the frustration that they've dealt with staff members accidentally doing this with their billing software. I'm not the only practitioner that's had that happen. Well, it happens here too. Don't worry, you can contact us. There's a way to combine those evaluations. So if you have that problem, just reach out to us and tell us that you have people that are the same person but in two separate accounts and need to combine them in order to get a comparison. With that being said, if you have all your exams under the account, which they should be, notice like in this case, all of these exams and dates of service for her are under her one account. So if I want to create a comparison, I just come over to comparison. And what do I want to compare? I'm going to choose PostureScreen. Now I get a list of all her posture screens. What do I want to compare? So I will compare the first and the second one. Since there's a 2-view and a 4-view in this case, I can generate either. So if I click 2-view exam, I would generate, and I'm just going to preview it here so you can see, I would generate a 2-view assessment. Okay, that's for the patients. Remember, the 2-view is a report for the patients. Okay, the 4-view, if you have 4-view assessment, obviously, this is more detailed. This is for a clinician or a high-end personal trainer. You can see we get all the data points. Okay, this is not meant for, obviously, for your patient or client. It will confuse the heck out of them. Okay, so I, Dr. Ferrantelli, do not recommend you send this to your patient or client unless you want to answer a lot of questions and explain to them every single thing. I say that because we've gotten numerous emails with asking, how do you explain this to a patient? The fact is, you don't explain this to a patient. That's like explaining how to read x-rays to a patient, right? You explain the basics for the terms that they understand and they need to know. Don't complicate your life trying to explain them all the little tiny angles, unless that's what you want to do. That's all you have to do to generate those reports. And of course, you can go ahead and send them as well too. So if I wanted to email it, just choose email and it opens up the document to be able to send it. Okay, so that's quite simple how to do a posture screen. Now, what if I wanted to do a trend over time? Well, we can do that too. If we click trend analysis, click PostureScreen, I can select what I want to compare. Okay, and then everything will show up. You can do up to 6 on one page, and then you'll have, I'll preview this again so you can see it. You can see all their postures on one page. Okay, that's the trend assessment. So the same thing applies if I want to do a comparison with body composition. So if I wanted to go into a lean screen, I could compare a lean screen. So you're getting the idea of how this works, right? So if I do a lean screen here, I could compare the two. If they've, gained body mass or gained weight, you can see the comparisons here. Okay. So that's how you generate a lean screen. Now, a movement screen's a little different. A movement screen, you can compare and make videos for comparison, as well as the documents. So if I hit comparison and do a movement assessment, and I want to do a movement report, which movement report do I want to do? I'll just pick laterals. So now all the laterals will come up. We only have 2. I select those, and now I hit preview, and this would be a pre-post on a lateral squat assessment. Okay, quite easy. Now, if you want to do a more detailed, like a movement screen with a comparison, you can do that by hitting comparison movement, and you want the videos, comparison video. And then these are ones that I've already done, okay? But to show you the steps on how to do that, so I don't just jump to the final, if I hit select the videos, what videos do I want to look at? I'm going to say let's do the lateral squat. Okay, we're going to select these 2 exams. Now this window is going to come up, and you want to kind of sync them. So if I come in here, where does she start to bend? Right about there, right? And then where does she start to bend? Right about there. So if I scroll on this big one here, if they were about at the same speed, they will be about the same. Once you sync them the way that you want to, now you would hit down on the bottom the done. So I click done, and it generates the video. Now, obviously it just rotated my screen. I'm going to probably rotate it back here in a second. I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to show the comparison video. Actually, I don't want to save that. I just want to hit play. There we go. Now we're back to landscape instead of portrait. And if I hit play, now you have the video. And if you wanted to stop, and you select what you want to do. If you wanted to draw, an angle or an arrow, you could draw an arrow. You can select any of these things that you want to do. If you want to change and select something, on her knee, move her knee, you can select whatever you want to do. You can annotate. If I want to draw, a freehand and draw anything, you could draw whatever you want to on the image. And then up here on the top right, just like any other of the annotation modules, you can go ahead and snap a picture of that as well. So that's as easy as it is to create a comparison. Oh, by the way, here are the thumbnail images. So if I wanted to include that into the report or not include that into the report, I could go ahead and turn that on or off, and I could also save the image. So another one that I had already done, you can see on, that's a pre. And just for the record, these are fake squats. I had her obviously do this previously and just made her squat differently just to show how the module worked. With that being said, that covers how to do comparisons, and of course you can also do a 3D comparison as well too, if you'd like. And that's for the 3D LeanScreen. If you have additional questions, reach out to us or the techs at support@PostureScreen.com. And thank you very much for using PostureScreen. Hopefully this tool and the comparison module will save you a lot of time being objective and being able to relate to the patient and get them to understand with certainty what things they have to work on and what they've already improved on with this comparison module. Or, God forbid, they have an injury and they've worsened, or they haven't kept up with their care and they've worsened, you can go ahead and show that to them as well too. So hopefully you'll find that useful. I sure did when I was in practice. And any other questions, just reach out to the team. And thank you very much for using PostureScreen. Have a good day.